What's good, y'all? Blogs every motherfucking day. It's your boy Dirtbag Dan. Blogs quite often. Blogs whenever I feel like it. Gonna be discussing some current news today. Woke up and I seen all over my Twitter feed that Bill Maher had popped off with a little N-word action on the show last night. America having an adverse reaction to said N-word. Rightfully so. I mean, I'm not qualified to decide whether or not Bill Maher's okay to be saying that shit. I'm not handing out hood passes or anything. But no, I mean, no, of course not. It's like, no, I don't think he should have said that at all. Would I have said something like that? Just weird, man. It was just weird. And I'll say this, like, probably the reason I'm even doing this blog and that this situation intrigued me is because I find Bill Maher to be kind of a sucker and someone who I don't really enjoy artistically. I'm not a fan of his show. I'm not a fan of his comedy. And that's probably because I don't trust anybody who plays politics that tough on either side of the fence, whether you're Bill O'Reilly or you're Bill Maher, you know what I mean? You're still too much of some shit that I don't trust at all. So going into this, I'm already like, oh, fucking Bill Maher, here we go. But I mean, like, there's really no like argument to be made on his behalf, you know what I mean? Like, there's no reason for him to say that shit. What happened was, in case you don't know or you haven't seen the clip, is he was interviewing, I believe it was the senator of Nebraska or something. The senator of Nebraska says, we'd like to have you come work in the fields or some shit. And Bill Maher says, work in the fields. I'm a house. Woo! Why? Why would you pop that off? I don't know. Trying to hop into like Bill Maher's twisted mind. Maybe because he thinks because he's dated some black chicks, it's okay to do that. Okay, Donald Sterling, but I don't think that means you're not racist, you know what I mean? Or I don't think that gives you like the legit hood pass. I don't even think if you like, I'm trying to think like what situation would that be an okay joke to say. And there's not, I mean, in all my, in my Caucasian brain, I can't come up with a single instance where I'm like, oh, that's cool, yeah. That's when you say that. Oh, but fools will get it because it's funny. It would be funny if a black guy said it. No. If a black guy was interviewing the senator of Nebraska, they probably wouldn't say anything about field work at all. That would probably be out of the fucking conversation, you know what I mean? Or the Nebraska senator would know not to, that wouldn't be the joke to pop off then, you know what I mean? But, man, it's all context, right? And there's no context, and there's no, like, situation in which where, like, I can find grounds to be like, freedom of speech, man. Let Bill Maher say what he's gonna say, you know. And like there, you know, people will bring up other comedians who walk that line. You know what I mean? I think Louis C.K. is a fine example. It's on the one-to-one. Every instance like that, every instance in which a white dude feels the caucasity or whatever, or is brave enough to just pop off an N-word. I don't know if brave is the word. I feel like stupid is probably a better word. To just pop off and then, you know what I mean? It's on the one-to-one. Like how the world reacts, how the people in that room react, you know what I mean? It's all based on that individual and the situation and the context that surrounds that situation. And I mean, like, if we're really talking about like the use of the word in general, there's probably not too many situations at all where it's okay for anyone outside of a person of color to be using that word. You know what I mean? I live in the Bay Area where, like, if you're half a shade darker than this, you're popping off the N-word. You know what I mean? It depends on how old you are. I feel like younger kids, they don't have the same kind of aversion to that word as people did when I was a kid or when I was in school. You definitely see like every Asian kid and every Mexican kid like using it in their regular vocabulary. My nephew is black, and when we were, I lived with him for years, like 7 or 8 years, all the time that he was through elementary school and junior high and like into high school. I think we moved out when he was in like his junior or senior year, and he would him and his friends would be kicking it, and they would just be dialoguing like regular, and he'd be popping off the N-word. And I remember his mom being like, "You can't say that," or "Don't say that," and I'll be like, "Wait, you can't tell him not to say that." You know what I mean? It's like he knows not to say that at school to his teacher or whatever, but it's like this is this one like instance culturally where like even though you're mom, it's maybe not the best idea to be like, keep that word out of your vocabulary. Context, I don't know, way off topic, but just like to me it's like so many things spin around in my head when that topic pops up, you know what I mean? Or whenever this situation pops up. There's definitely been battles where like white dude has said the N-word and had multiple different reactions to it, you know what I mean? I've seen like freestyle battles where someone like slips it in at the wrong time, or like you could tell they did it like accidentally. It's just like in their head and it comes out, and then everyone's like, "Oh, what the fuck?" Or I've seen it like when Prophets shouts out to the classic Prophet N-word line. You know what I'm talking about. Battle rap fans know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to go ahead and repeat that. But yeah, it's on the one-to-one every situation, and I think in this situation, on the one-to-one, America has largely decided that Bill Maher should fucking chill out, and that just because you dated a few black chicks doesn't give you the right to fucking be, you know, popping off with the N-word in the most uncomfortable of situations. You know what I mean? But again, not my decision to make. I don't know. What do you guys think? Freedom of speech? Whatever. I mean, again, like my only response to that, and my only reaction to this whole situation is that anytime someone does that, pops off with any racial epithet that has like, you know, that is specifically geared to fuck with a certain group of people around the world, you know what I mean? It's that group of people that get to decide whether or not it's okay for anybody to say that shit, you know what I mean? Post like it being used as a weapon against people. I think that there was a really powerful like quote that Oprah said, of all people, of course, about why she doesn't use the N-word, you know what I mean? And I don't know. Oprah's not Bill Maher. 7 minutes of a white guy talking about using the N-word. Blogs every day.